couple rolls this morning. Couple buys. First, we gotta pick an apple. I'm gonna try the after coffee. Unheard of non-traditional soda is going to be a potions. The Potions Cauldron Witch's Brew Blue Grape. Where are they out of? Made in, where we got? We got a made in somewhere? I don't know. Hard to say. But if you shake it, that's cool as heck. It like shimmers. So Witch's Brew is going to be the after the coffee. Just kind of. So whenever I buy these, what I end up doing is I buy 2 of them, one to open and drink, and then one to pop over here, one to actually save and keep sealed, not open, keep in the collection. So that's cool as heck. Witch's Brew. Probably going to be terrible. I'm going to pop chat out here. So I can see who's hanging out this morning. Jeff and Investable Collectibles, how you doing? Good morning on this holiday day off. So we're going to kind of make it a typical, yeah, that's what I call it, the unheard of non-traditional drink. We're going to do that every now and then on a stream. So we'll do the 10 coin pocket change check here quick. We're going to do 4 nickel rolls, 2 pennies, and $1 with a Susan B. Anthony 79 on the ender. Hopefully, near date. We'll see. But before I get into that, so I bought this thing. Seems to be kind of a cool little thing. It came with paper rolls that you can put in this, and then you snap it in this, and then you can just throw the whatever denomination you're using right in this. And then when you take it out, and if the roll is in here, you just tip it sideways, and the last coin here actually stays, and that's your roll count. Bemidji gas stations have, buy those drinks. So the only thing I probably won't use it with rolls, because the rolls I get from my bank that are free are too long. They actually go over this edge, so it'll take more coins than what the coin roll is supposed to have. You can buy the coins from this place, and the coin rolls are level with that, or the wraps are level with that, so it'll just kind of, you can tip it and then it's done. So I don't know if I'll do that or not. I'll probably use it just for getting the right amount of coins, because you can just throw the coins in here, take it out, tip it, it'll stay there, and then it's going to actually be what a roll should be, and then I'll probably hand roll them from there. So that's kind of cool. And the other thing I picked up is just a cheap, this was a cheap like set or something, I don't know. I saw it on, whose channel did I see this on? I know whose channel I saw this on, and I ordered it. In their Discord. Lucky Luke coins. And speaking of Discord, let's pop the Discord. I don't know if everybody's in the Discord, my Discord, so I'm gonna lose chat for just a second. I forget to do this every single stream. To pin the Discord. My Discord is so quiet. What do we got? I got 7 people in my Discord. Investables in there, I know that. But let's do this. Let's get a Discord link. See if that's the Discord link, if somebody's not already in my Discord and stuff. Join the Discord. I post all of my coins and stuff, and I just post all kinds of things. And you're going to see cards. You're going to see a lot of cardboard in Discord too. So let's see what this thing is. This looked cool when Luke's Lucky Coins or Lucky Luke's Coins had it. There's a little microfiber thing there. The instructions that we never really use. I didn't so much buy it for this. But this might come in handy. I mean, I've got a little loop that I like to carry. But this might be cool, so that's for getting the battery in and out, I guess. And it's just a little loopy. Let's see, 30 by 22, and it looks like a 60 by 12. So there's 3 spots for. There's 2 oh, okay. Each one has a. I'm blinding myself doing this. Each magnifying area has its own little light. So kind of cool. It's kind of cool. You know, I don't know if I'll carry that in my pocket like I carry my other one. My other one I carry. I call this my everyday carry. It's this one where you can just, it's a little, I think it's a little more compact. And you really have to get, you know, you got to put your eye close to this. This is truly a loop. I don't know. They're both the same size. I think this is still going to be more pocket friendly. It's, you know, it's not as thick. So this is a little more pocket friendly. Yeah, that's right, Jeff. New toys. We like new toys. Wait until some new cap and ball revolvers come around. We're going to have those on the channel. I'm about due to order one. So this thing here must charge. I mean, I don't know what I would use this for, which is a lot of times a typical buy for me. It's like I buy stuff I probably don't need, but that's all right. You know, because, you know, I've got the actual microscope, and I've got another microscope coming. I got a 10-inch screen microscope coming, but this was kind of pretty cool if I just wanted to look at something, I guess. You know? It's got little measuring area down below, and I don't know if it's charged. Oh yeah, it's charged. So you apparently can put a coin in there. And I don't know how this is going to work, but I mean, you can kind of get close to it. This isn't, the camera is probably not doing what it should, but I don't know. I think the whole thing was $20. And I don't know what you would use the UV light for. But you can double click it and you end up with UV, so I don't know, kind of cool. It's solid, it's well made, it's heavy. So it's not like it's a cheap thing. Doesn't feel like there's any adjustment to that. That doesn't turn. Feels like if I turned it, that would mean I broke it. Something to add to the coin looking at stuff. So, all right, let's get into the 10 coin pocket change check. Yeah, investable. From your side of things, most definitely would be an awesome, because I don't know how magnified this particular thing is, but maybe without the light on, you can kind of see. Let's throw a nickel in there. Nickel might fall through this hole, but I mean, it's not really gonna, but yeah, exactly investable. If you didn't have a USB microscope like I run for looking at coins normally, this would be a handy little thing for you. Even if you go to like shows and stuff. I mean, this is kind of a big and stuff, but you probably always want to end up carrying like a smaller loop. But like if you were at a gem show investable, that'd be cool. Art, hey, welcome in. New here, good morning, happy Memorial Day, same to you. Let's remember all that served, for sure. Appreciate you swinging by, Art. I'm gonna get some gloves on, just because by the time I get through coins, if I don't, I'm grody. And I've actually noticed having black gloves on, camera-wise, when I switch to the other screen, the camera phone doesn't want to focus as much on like my hands for some reason. And I think the coins stand out a little bit better if I don't have my white hands exposed. And 2 or 3 loops, yeah, for sure. Like I said, I carry that one loop. That's like, I call it my everyday carry in conjunction to what is my actual everyday carry. All right, so this is just pocket change that goes into a container at the corner of my desk whenever all my kids and my wife know to give me coins, because they'll get it and change and stuff, and then I just make a little container. So, and then I'm like, in injunction to the roll hunts, we'll do like a 10 coin pocket change check. So we'll see what's here. Now, usually I just grab 10 coins and we see what we pull out of there. 75D. And unless there's a reason to throw it under the scope, I won't throw it under the scope until it hits a scope stream, which I did a 2-hour nickel 1950s nickel stream yesterday and went through the majority of what I had set aside for 1950 nickels, and slid everyone under the scope. I think we might have found 1956 repunched mint mark, a Denver repunched mint mark. And I think I found a die crack, 1981. It almost looks like a P. Yeah, that is a 1981 P. I think I might have found a die crack on a 50 something. Yeah, it looks like a P. There's a newer 23D. One of the women quarters. 3 pennies. An 82D, so that one will have to hit the scale to know if it's a zinc or a copper. Unless D's are specific, I don't know if they are or not. But 82 is that transitional year. And a 2023. So nothing that is exciting in the pocket change check for this stream. I don't know. I showed this on yesterday's stream. Yeah, so I cracked a proof set. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I just like cracking them. That's just me, I guess. So, let's crack the first. Where did I put my little... Thought I was going to have to use the belt knife, buck knife. Try to do this without wrecking the ender. Let's see what we got on the end. One we don't know. Do not know the ender there. That looks like it's maybe older. Got some damage to it for sure. I post a lot of different things in the Discord. Cards, antique books, all kinds of things. All right, 1960s or older is what we typically chase. 77. And then we give it a quick obverse and reverse check just for any naked eye errors or die cracks or die chips. But they all eventually hit a scoping stream. There's a 05 P, and I'm pretty sure the P is where you can get the speared buffalo. And that is probably noticeable naked eye wise, I'm guessing. I have not seen one in person yet. I wasn't sure if that's 13 or 18. Still have not hit the elusive 2009 88D. What we will do is we'll pull all the hits out of the rolls, or what we consider hits, and then we'll send those hits under the scope quick. Towards the end of the stream, that'll be like the last thing we kind of do. Nothing on that 76. A little bit nicer looking 21D. 72P. I don't know, 4 rolls of nickels. I usually come out with, saving 60s and older, I usually come out with, on average, 2 a roll. What is that? There's a good reason. There's another good reason why I like to wear gloves. $99D. Who knows what that is? 94. Try to keep most of my streams to an hour, unless it's one of the scoping streams, then those can go 2 hours or so, just because I'm trying to get, it takes a little more time to get all the coins from one particular jar under a scope. Boy, we have not hit a single thing yet in roll 1. Not even a newer modern thing that's worth setting aside for a keeper. 11D. $85 Philly. 72D. Try to do the initial date checks kind of quick and just look, like I said, for that naked eye error that is going to stand out as like maybe a die cut or a big chip somewhere or something like that. Oh, 1D. And then the smaller dies or the smaller errors are looked for in a different stream. 15. Yeah, 15. We might get skunked on this. This might be the first roll I've ever been absolutely skunked on a 60 or earlier. Which would be, I think it would be the first time I've ever not hit a 60 or later or earlier. $22p. 98. Give it the quick flip. $16D. I think we're getting skunked. I should come up with a skunk hotkey in the stream. Maybe I'll do that later today as I'm sitting around the office. Develop a hotkey for a skunked roll. 3 coins left. We're not gonna make it. They look modern. 7 unless it's a 9. Coaches. Yeah, I'm gonna exactly. And this is gonna be a skunked roll, not a single 60. Not a single 60 or older. So, yeah, I'm going to develop a hotkey for a skunked roll. All right, roll 2 of the 4. Coach, I got it on my mind that you made the comment of why no love for halves in the Backwoods. And I'm going to pick up at least a handful of halves at some point. So, look like anything old or out of the norm? Nah, not really. We will give some love to some halves here going forward at some point, Coach, just because you said that yesterday. 2001p that's seen better days. The halves, and I don't know if I said it when you made the comment yesterday or not. It's a nice reverse to that coin. Halves just aren't one of my particular favorite coins. I mean, I think it goes nickels for me. Probably go. Well, no, my favorites are the small dollars for sure, and the presidentials, and I like Susan B. Anthony coins, even though they're one of the most hated coins probably in the hobby. Oh, there we go. There's a 40 too. So let me pull up. I know I have it up. I gotta get. Gotta go to nickels here. Where are my nickels? So really the D or the S are the two lows. So you want the D, you want the Denver or the San Francisco. The P is going to be 176 million, and it is the P, so 176. So we're not going to give it the hit button, but it is a 40 coming out of that. And it don't look... no errors on the 40. 40S has some possibilities, but not the Philadelphia or the Denver. 3 quick checks. So at least we went from a skunked roll to hitting a 40. Is this older? It's just darker. I don't know if it's older. 88p, no. Kind of cool aging to it. Wherever it was, it changed consistently to kind of make a cool tone looking nickel. And some moderns. 06. 15. This week when I make a bank run, I think I'll get a couple rolls of halves, even though it's not a real chased coin on my channel or for my collection. 94D. That is my graduating year. Son's girlfriend just graduated on Friday. Ooh, there's a nicer looking thing. Let's see, what is it? 99. Nothing to get excited about there. 2 old washers out of my front yard property so far. I'm gonna do a little bit more today. Maybe I'll take the camera with, and you know, it's hard to do like a live like that, and I'm more of a live type of guy, I guess. But maybe I'll put together something if I hit something, you know. Or if I get a really good return on the machine that says it should be some better. There's a nice looking 23. Like a coin or something. Can I get the pinwheel effect to happen here? Kinda. But yeah, as far as like anything worth anything right now, nope. Two very old washers, I'm assuming, because they were deep. I think I went more than 8 inches deep to get those out of the ground. 99D. Ooh, there's a really nice looking reverse. Let's see if the overhead picks that up. There's a really nice looking reverse right there. Did I say pinwheel? That's a really nice one. At least on that side. Pinwheel, cartwheel. It's all the same, ain't it? Alright, let's look at this nice one. Here's the reverse. I thought maybe that might have been a 24. A lot of newer stuff. This might be a sad couple rolls. 61. So there's our first 60. And seen some better better time, but there's our first 60, and 60s are cutoffs. What is it? What is the difference between a cartwheel? Well, a cartwheel to me would be somebody doing a cartwheel, like on your hands and feet. And then a pinwheel, I don't know what truly is a pinwheel. Is it one of those things on a stick that's got the plastic thing that spins around in the wind? Is that a pinwheel? $23p. A lot of nicer, newer coins, at least in this roll. But just nothing we chase. $64. As I drop it. 64p. The 64D's got a possible repunchment mark on it, which I have a possible one set aside. It's in that area of, man, you know, does it fit enough to call it a repunchment mark? I don't know. They call it the cartwheel effect for coins. I have to pay attention now, because especially when I'm on like Whatnot and watching Whatnot streams, when somebody says that, now I'm gonna actually consciously pay attention to whether they're saying cartwheel or pinwheel. Wow, another beauty. That's gotta still have steps too, doesn't it? Yeah, that darn near full. 2001. Well, I might have grabbed 4 sorry nickel rolls. Oh, there we go. Not high value, but you don't often see them. 2009p, and I don't know off the top of my head. Let me spin down. The Philadelphia is going to be 39 million. So all right, with that hit, second to last coin, and a 94p. All right. So this is our, and this is typically, until like my numbers change, this will probably be my typical stream coin roll hunt. Will be like 4 nickel rolls, 2 pennies, and then a dollar roll. I think I was getting into saying it earlier that I just don't like, I mean, you see a lot of guys on YouTube do the whole box and stuff, and I just don't like doing it that way, I guess. I like to do a little bit now, a little bit later. Hit the wrong button there. So the 09 was a nice hit. So no pulls from the first roll and 4 pulls from the second. So, and 4 is kind of high for what I typically, usually it's 2 to 3 pulls out of a roll. 1005 Buffalo, nope. I don't know if there's an error on that or not. You'll see me look over this way occasionally because I've got kind of a little book that tells me just at a glance if like key dates and it might be going a little longer than an hour today with the fact that I did that couple things I bought at the beginning of the stream. And we're at a half an hour, so 91D. If I just start working and quit talking, we'll move along a little bit quicker. 95P. A little bit nicer looking. Got some wear on it, but it's still got a good sheen to it for 95. There's a 64. And it is the D, so we'll look at that mint mark. I'm kind of switching up how I do the pulls from these streams. Like, we'll look at the pulls under the scope right away in this stream at the end, instead of throw them into the pile and they don't hit a scope stream until later. Take a sip of coffee there. Pretty soon we'll get to our non-traditional soda pop. That's seen better days. 06. I almost passed up that 09. I almost threw it in the pile. $2,000D. What are you seeing on a $2,000D? I don't think it's on my sheet. There's so many, it's almost like you can't keep a real accurate sheet. Yeah, the 05 Buffalo, I look at all those Buffaloes. I think, I've never found one, but I think they say that it's pretty noticeable without the scope. Oh, you got a retain die break on the 2000D. Okay. Like I said, I've never seen a buffalo, the speared buffalo in person, so I don't... Boy, that probably was an ender at some point. I don't know if the speared buffalo would be noticeable just like in this view, or it would take the scope to truly set it off. I guess I did not hear and wasn't familiar with the 2000D die break. I always like to give the back just a look in case there's a big die chip or something. 2001. 89D. Alright, coming down to the end of the third nickel roll of the morning. A lot of modern, newer stuff in these four rolls. 99D, so that roll produced us the 164D. Last nickel roll for the morning. Last nickel roll for the morning. This one might actually open up to where we can there. See, that's how how you're supposed to open them, coin roll hunting, so you can kind of look at the edges and see if you've got a possible war penny or war penny, war nickel. But they don't always open that way, so. All right. Last set of nickels. It is not going to be a huge day on the nickel front, unless this roll does something great. O4D and P have double die orientation too. Just looked up some modern errors on nickels. Okay. I might have to add that stuff to my notes that I look at. Yeah, the nickel errors don't go that deep. I know my two books go that deep. But basically the notes I've got here go from like the repunt mint marks and the inverted mint marks and stuff from 40 to 64 and stuff, so. Oh, I do have the 04 double die Avers piece metal is on my notes though. So there you go, 2004 P. This says that it would be on the reverse. It doesn't say P or D for me. But we can set that aside. It won't be a hit as of today, but we'll set that aside. Since we're doing a scope portion on these mornings. There's a 62. I'm way down at 09s here. Let's go back up into the... I don't think there's really any low mintage or anything in the 62s. Yeah, they're both under or over 100 million, but 60s are our cutoff, or where we start setting them aside. I say all the time, most guys start at 59. They don't save anything in the 60s. I just like the 60s. 76. O2D. I think the reason I made my cutoffs for 60s in coins, not all coins, nickels for sure, pennies too, is just because I say it all the time. I like the 60 decade in trucks. So it's like, I gotta like the 60s decade in coins too. I might do, if I can swing it, I might jump on tonight and end up doing a scope stream. Just to knock out another decade somewhere. 2000 and D. There's your 2000 and D there, coach. Retain die break, huh? That's what you said that. It looks pretty normal to me. It's going to be a little semi-low roll too for pulling any hits out of it. Looks like I might have a handful of fairly newer stuff coming out of this roll. So 77D. Yeah, there's a couple older ones it looks like could be coming. '98. It's funny. Some of the times I see like what I think is going to be an old one coming, and it ends up being like late '90s. I don't know if they just didn't wear that well in that particular decade of. There's a 64, another D. Nope, 64P. So that's actually got 1 billion printed. That's 1 billion printed. 1.08. 76. And coming down to the end of the nickels and gonna hit our 2 penny rolls. 64D? 64D, so. And a 14. So that particular roll gives us 3. What did we get? We got the 62D, the 64P, which is over 1 billion minted, and then that other 64D. So, all right. Sip of coffee, and then into the 2 penny rolls, and then $1 roll to do, and then we'll go to the scope. Coffee's almost gone, almost time to hit the witch's brew. Enders. That's going to show up, and I'm probably not going to be able to hold it still enough for it to show up. 82 and a nice looking 20 something. So nothing ender wise that's going to excite us. There's a minty one that just dropped. Oh, I saw a big one. I saw a big one. It's right under that one there. We're gonna hold that one to the end. I think I saw a huge coin. One that I haven't hit yet. I don't know what it is. I don't. All right. If it is what I think it is, I have not hit one yet in my coin hunting career, which isn't old. I've only, I've been in this coin thing for probably 6 months to a year, and only really doing like heavy hunts for, I don't know, a month and a half. So that'd be huge if it is something. There's a 17. Looks terrible. I'm surprised I saw that drop out. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it is. 89D. Some goofy stuff going on over there, but we're not going to bother scoping that until it hits the 80s scope stream. I think it might be an Indian. 84. Just from the little bit that I saw, there's a 64. switch over to penny. I mean, and the pennies, there's so many varieties and stuff. Pennywise, it's to me, it's one of the harder ones to like keep up on. 83D, 91D. I mean, there's so many varieties on things. Yet to be certain, you gotta get searching them, investable. I do buy a lot of coins. You know, I buy a lot on the Whatnot app. There's a 64. But we're at 264s right away in the there we go. There's an 09. There's the Lincoln. I think this is the Birth. Is this the Birth one? I didn't switch over to pennies here. I don't know how short these are minted, but they are a hit in the sense of penny roll hunting. So what is this? This is the 09D. Yeah, I mean they're 350 million. What you want is those satin finishes ones. But we're going to keep it. It's going to go as a pull from the roll for sure. I got to get my... Every time I switch this, I lose chat. You'd rather just look at the war penny? $82D. 12. I don't know what caught my eye as it dropped, unless I'm completely wrong and it's just an odd looking Lincoln penny. These dates are a little bit harder to see on the screen too. This looks older, but it's not. 15. I am not... Oh, boy, that's hard to... Kind of hard to make out there. Let's see if that does anything for us. 94. At least that's what I'm guessing. I'm not a big fan of the shield back design. I think the whole shield back almost feels like they were lazy about the design of that obverse or that reverse. You know, it just... I think it's got a little bit of an old feel to it, an antique feel to it maybe. But it's definitely not one of my favorite designs I think they ever came up with. Other cool penny roll has a barber dime on the end. Yeah. Might get a couple of them in there. This looked odd at first, but just going to be a 13. That's what made it look odd. 86. All right. 78. I mean, I'm passing up a lot that probably have certain double dies on them and different things to look for, but those will be caught more so in the stream where I do the scoping of like a certain decade of pennies. It looks like an older one, and it's an 86. Not even copper. 16. 01. 84. I've heard things on the 84. Like I said, the pennies are so, wow, that's not a bad looking 64. Got a little bit of something up top there, but that's about as minty of a 64 as I've seen in a while. Wish that little spot wasn't there. I think that's the first coin we pulled out of this roll, isn't it? No, we pulled the 09 out of this roll. So I'm going to... Sometimes I forget what we pulled where. $79. All right, another 5, 6 regular ones, and then we're gonna end up pulling what I think is that Indian head. $82, $94, $12, and a minty looking another 12. Here's one more, and it is yeah, you can't tell, but it is an Indian. I've not looked at the year yet. That is not in bad shape either. Got a little bit of something on the back. But we are definitely... Regardless, that is a hit. Let's spin up to 07s as I drop it. Yeah, probably the banger of probably my coin roll hunting career at this point. And it's in nice shape too. My goodness. You know, other than that, whatever it is got on the back, almost like glue. I mean, it's not, it's just discoloring. I don't know, but let's look at 1907. Let's look at a 1907 mintage. Well, it says 108,000 on the P, and the P is the only one there, so obviously they only came out of Philadelphia. So there is that penny roll. The 09, the actual nice looking 64, and then the crown jewel probably of this stream. Actually, I don't know how you're gonna beat that. The 07 probably. I mean, it's so, everything is so still there. I mean, we'll scope it here at some point. I mean, there's some of, maybe the feathering is gone a little bit and stuff, but it was not, let's just say it was not well abused at any point. Now, I'm no professional grader, so I mean, I can kind of get close and tell you that, you know, it's going to fall within the MS range somewhere. I mean, and that's pretty easy to do typically, is say, oh yeah, it's going to fall within the MS. I think that's a 60s hit on the end right there. So we got a hit, or at least a save coming. I wouldn't call, hard to call anything a hit now after a 1907 Indian head. Minty, minty. All right. Well, nothing dropped out like the last one, that's for sure. Yeah, grading. Grading may be an option just because the fact that I hit it in a hunt. There's a 68 right off the roll, right off the bat, pulling 68. $83. One penny roll left, and then one of the small dollars. Small dollars are actually probably my favorite coin. $22, minty. Minty! I mean, I really like pennies. I really like hunting pennies, and I really like hunting nickels, but then small dollars are kind of, I don't know. It's kind of my favorite. Start burning some of these here. Be a little longer stream this morning, I guess, but that's all right. I mean, $95. Just having fun with this, And I don't know, you guys that are hanging around, you know that I'm not one that's hung up on views and subscribes and likes. Ooh. I wouldn't have expected that to be a 78. That was in a little better shine than I expected a 78 to be in. We don't typically keep 78s, but I'm going to just set that aside is because that'll go kind of like in my nicer stuff. Here's a 67. So it's just 2 out of the roll so far. 3 if you want to count that nice 70s. A bit of corrosion there. Yeah, the weather should be nice enough that after I'm done with this today, I'm going to go do a little bit more metal detecting in the yard. At least the front yard property. Ooh, catch it, I caught it. $23. 82. Kind of spinning by, checking the verses on a lot of these. 1990. Now that's a particular year I don't see a lot of, or I haven't. 23D. Maybe not as nice as it should be. Here's a minty 23D. This older, 66. Number 3 of the roll. 81. 18. I gotta get the coins like just at the exact right distance from the camera for the date to show up. For you guys to see it anyways. 61D. There's a repunched mint mark and a double die on a 61D. So, coin 4 of the roll. So that's a pretty good roll, but still ain't gonna beat the roll that the 1907 come out of. And 62D. 76. 3 more pennies. Wow, that's seen some corrosion. I don't know. It looks like a 90 something. I don't know if it's gonna be noticeable. 99. 69D. So, what's this? 77. So, 1, 2, 4, 6 pennies out of that roll. All right, last roll. We're gonna be over an hour this morning. All right, time to crack our Witch's Brew Potions Cauldron Blue Grape that shimmers. So stuff like this either ends up being really, really good or absolutely terrible. Or it's gonna end up killing me too. Yeah, it's kind of blue grape-ish. I kind of expected the shimmering stuff to be like feelable. You know, like have a texture to it, but it truly doesn't. Cane Shaker, what's up? You missed the old 1907 hit. Unless you were here and lurking. But you don't, the shimmering of whatever's in this bottle, you do not feel. All right, last roll to actually hunt. We'll cut her open on the, looks like 2000p Sacagawea, because I'm guessing that's not a Cheerios dollar. Let's see. Thanks for swinging in, Cane Shaker. Anything coming out? It's Monday, isn't it? It throws me off because of the whole holiday thing. So, looks like there's probably 2 Susan B. Anthony's in here. Nothing looks extremely MS minty, but we'll see. Maybe there'll be a short mint NIFC. Wrong camera. All right, let's look at the Susan B's here. 79p, and this is where you could get the near date or wide rim. That doesn't look like it. $2,000D. 99. I think 99s are shorter printed. There's the card collector in me coming out. Shorter printed. Minted. Let's see. It is a P, so a 99P. 29 million. You really want the D at 11 million. Still kind of, because I don't see a lot of 99s. I don't know. We consider it a hit, or do we say, nah, not really? Yeah, I completely forgot it's Monday. Thomas Jefferson. So there's a die chip that you typically can find right at her arm at that one spike, and I think it's on quite a few of them. Theodore Roosevelt. I think this is NIFC. I could be wrong. Is that 13? 13p. Because Roosevelt is one of the later presidents. $13p. Yeah. 5 million. So that's an NIFC. We'll do all the later ones. We'll give all the later ones a hit for sure. So that gets considered a hit. And I lost my chat. $2,000p. That's the possible Wounded Eagle Cheerios. That just has to be scoped. There's a well-worn D. Washington is a 707. There's a minty something. William Howard Taft. Short printed. There I go. Using printed again. Let's see if we can pick up what it is. 13p is going to be 4.6 million. We'll give that a hit as one of the NIs. That's a D, so really nothing there. John Adams is an early one. I think it's 7 or 8. $70. Madison's an early one. Andrew Jackson's early. Just looking for heavy airs, if any, stick out. A well-worn 2000D. That a D, that's a D. James Garfield. Well worn. I don't know if we'll be able to pick up a date. Not in the scope. Garfield, I forget where Garfield falls. You're also looking for the missing. Is that a 14? That's not a 14, is it? That's 11. So right there, just before the NIFC started. Another D of no interest. Early James Buchanan. Did I throw did I throw a P that needs to be looked at in these? I'll make sure I didn't toss a P aside, because we're gonna do a quick scoping here pretty quick. Oh, but all D's I threw up here? Thought I saw at least a P. There's a P, so that can be looked at. Thankfully, that's a D. That's a D. Okay, so I pulled the one P that we do need to look at some point. That looks like a P to me. We're gonna scope that anyways. Early Andrew Jackson of no interest. Polk. Pulled plenty of polks at this point. There's another one that needs to be scoped. Rutherford B. Hayes, I believe this is 11-2, just before the NIFCs. Where are we getting a D? Come on. Come on. That'll be coming up. There it is. Well, I'm getting better because I said 11 and it is 11, so getting better with my, and a D that does not need to be looked at. All right, so the $1 roll, we're gonna fire up the scope. We're gonna look at these 3 Ps. We'll check these 2 NFI and IFCs. So I am going to take a drink. I don't know if I'm overly a fan of this witch's brew stuff. Doesn't really show the shimmering that well, does it? Cool one to keep collected back there, but I don't know if I'll drink that one again. All right. Well, let's do the first thing first. Let's just look at this 1907 that we pulled. And it's still got a lot of life on it. There's a lot of nice strike left on that. And like I said, the front is very much still in nice shape. Now the back, the obverse is obviously the downside of the two sides, just with whatever the staining is there. I mean, it's still just an absolute cool find, though. Don't look like there's anything major other than that going on with it. And the arrows are still nice. Probably will be the roll hunting gem for a while. Yeah, I guess I didn't even really know. Yeah, they're still there a little bit. Back this off a bit. Yeah, like I said, I agree with you, Investable. Some of the details are still on this coin. I don't know if there's a 07 variety or an error. I don't think there is, but anyways, very cool coin. Very cool hit. Let's do our packaging checks quick here. Okay. Not enough detail in the tail feathers to tell, and I don't see a wounded eagle on that one. Not enough detail to tell. Just to pull us away a little bit. I'm going to say we're Good on that one. No wounded. And probably not enough detail to tell. There's some damage. Like this right here is after. Because you're looking at those for those other hash marks, those details in the tail feathers. That's after mint damage there, and I think it's got a couple other scuffs that, you know, would make you go, oh, but it's not. It's definitely not. So 64 Ds. Let's look for a quick mark. It's hard to get it clear for the actual stream view. But I would say there's no repunch mint mark there. It's a well-worn 64. Well-worn 64. Another 64. This is a P though, so we'll just give it a quick check for die cracks and stuff. See anything there? 62, I don't think there's anything to really look for. 64 is really the only thing. Here's a D, 64D. So we'll give her... This is kind of a little bit of a mintier coin. This might have been that 164 that I pulled that I was like, hey, this is still kind of... Solid struck, still D. If it was there, you'd be able to tell on that D. All right, let's see what else is worth taking a look at. Just give it a she does not want to focus for stream purposes. There we go. That's a little better. Not great. Actually, I think I know why. There we go. Now I fixed it. That's why you guys weren't getting a good focus. I gotta remember to change that setting in the camera when I switch to the scope. Everything looks pretty normal on that 09. It's got steps. That's actually kind of amazing. I mean, you'll find them in good shape, but it doesn't really have luster left to it. But amazingly, it's got steps. It's got some actual nice steps. Here's a 64p. 64P, Philadelphia. Make sure there's nothing after mint gouge on his cheek there. Steps obliterated. Uh, 61. There was something with 61s, but I could be wrong. Anything here except a run-of-the-mill. Ooh. I definitely took some damage from something. Alright. Here's our 40. Major issues on that side. It is Philadelphia. 40S has got some known stuff on it. But looking like a pretty typical 40. Just look and see if anything stands out, and if something stands out, we'll check the notes and see if something stands out. We'll go to the notes and see if it's something that we should be looking for. Should have my new scope sometime this week, I'm guessing. That'll probably end up being the new desk scope here. Use this scope on my other desk. Another 64. A lot of times the wear on these are to the point where even if you had something, it would probably be gone. I guess 2 hours is going to be, I don't know, an hour and a half, so somewhere between an hour and an hour and a half. Nothing known on the 64Ds. I guess every stream in the morning or coin streams will be somewhere around an hour to 2 hours. So if you don't like this kind of stuff, you're not going to hang around and watch. I can tell you that. Here's our 9. Might as well give it a look. Give it a spin around. I got to remember to start checking the 2003s for the extra V. Sometimes I just go right past even looking at that. I don't know of any documented mint errors on this birth coin. They're all on the one that he's sitting on a log looking at a book. Or I shouldn't say they're all on that. The other ones, I don't know. So we're just going through the hits of the stream just to see. There's a good gouge there, probably from another coin. Not really known in the 67s. As far as I can tell from my notes. I don't know if I'm drinking this one again. DDO on 66s. Is anybody still hanging out? Supposedly a this note means a date. Double diamond first. I don't know where. Yeah, nothing that's standing out. Known repunched mint mark on it, but that is definitely not there. Definitely no repunched mint mark there. Actually, it's a D over D. Think anything else is going to stand out for us? Two more pennies to run through. 2D. Extremely known on it. $60.90. So 6090 has got a no FG on the reverse possibility. For a second there, it looked like maybe there was some doubling of some sort. So no FG on the reverse, but it looks like it's there. It is definitely still right there. So we did not hit the no FG. And the rest of things look good. I forget which one the floating roof is on. But that looks like there's a line there, and it looks like there's probably a line there, so we're not going to call that. We're not going to call that the floating roof either. Let's take a quick look at these NIFCs. Just to make sure we ain't missing a die crack or a chip somewhere. This is actually a very nice Taft coin. It'll definitely be MS level. It was obviously not in circulation long. I don't see any dive chips or anything. Sometimes I think you can find them on these spikes of the crown. And there are several that have die chips right here where like the spike meets the arm. And I don't know if there's any down in that one or not. And our other NF, I always go NF, NIFC, not intended for circulation, is we got Roosevelt. And we'll just give a quick, this one has been around a little bit longer, seen some circulation. Just looking for major die chips, maybe a crack, something that essentially is not a documented error, but this happens to happen. Nothing there. And we'll take one last look at the find of the day. An unbelievable find. There's still a little bit of detail in those feathers. I mean, I don't know if there's a lot. The only downside to this coin is whatever the staining is. Oh, it's like something dried. You know, at some point it had something on it that dried. And it's solid on there. It's not currently sticky or anything. But that obverse, yeah, investable. It's the obverse is absolutely gorgeous on it. All right. I think that's the morning hunt. We hunted, we scoped our finds. probably cut finding this 1907. I'll cut that out of the video, out of the live, and probably make a video of it. At some point this evening. Yeah, exactly. You are right. I mean, there's the headband is more worn than the feathers are. But I mean, it's just still got luster yet. I mean, it's not a dark brown like you see a lot of them. So I don't know. I think it's probably, like I said, it's probably going to be the find of. Might be the find of the year. Yeah, maybe that, whatever that is that dried on it, maybe it would just soak off in water, you know? I mean, I'm a believer of the you don't clean coins at all. I mean, other than like metal detecting one, you're going to have to get some of the dirt off and stuff. But who knows? You're right. Maybe that will just soak away with water. You know, I mean, you can even just still see that it's got shine on the edges. So, I don't know. It'll definitely be a coin of discussion on the channel going forward. Anyways, I'm going to call it a morning. I'm going to call it a stream. Thanks, everybody who showed up, hung out. Investable Collectibles, for sure. You're the man. Always fun to chit-chat with you. Cane Shaker showed up. Coach's Magic. We had Jeff show up. Who else was here? Art. Somebody brand new showed up in the stream. That's cool. So thanks to everybody who popped in at some extent. And big thank you to my man Investable. Hey, thanks for hanging out, man. We will talk to everybody soon. Have a good rest of the holiday weekend. And for sure, Investable, you and I are so close that we should do some collecting together. We will talk to everybody soon, probably.